This might be the worst podcast I've ever recorded. I like that as like originally I was going to record a podcast with Mimi Page, Dance Safe, and Good Night Out Vancouver about like women's rights and like all sorts of like activism stuff. And then it's like just hard pivot, Gardnsound, we're talking about loads, like Peter North and fucking construction and shit.
Yeah. It's like fucking whipping shitties in a fucking Tesla.
Welcome to the Mr. Bill podcast. I'm Anand Harsh, editor-in-chief of theUnz.com, Bill's manager, and dishwasher at the Unz Festival. I say dishwasher at the Unz Festival because I literally don't have an official job on site, so I just end up doing everything, which is why if you were attending, you probably saw me greet you at the gate and wave goodbye to you at the end of the weekend, and why I have a third-degree burn on my arm from refueling golf carts. And why this intro will be so short, because I'm so fucking tired. Today's guest is Gardner, Bill's good friend down in Atlanta, which will be the new home of Mr. Bill in perpetuity. He's our first three-peat guest, I think. He's been working for the legend Matt Davis, also a previous guest, building very fancy studios for producers, including the one that ended up in my basement. They're going to talk about building Bill's new studio down in the A, whipping in Infected Mushrooms Tesla, and building decks. Everything's on the website: tutorials, sample packs, tour dates, and this podcast. Go to live.mrbillstunes.com for absolutely everything Mr. Bill. Bill headlines Bigfoot Electro on Memorial Day weekend in Tennessee, and Tribal Connection is in Ohio on June 3rd. Kill Bill is in Charlotte on May 27th, DC on June 1st, and at Firelights Festival in August. Tickets at Linktree/Mr. Bill's Tunes. There you have it. Enjoy Bill's chat with Gardnsound.
Hey, you're listening to the Mr. Bill podcast.
Hey, you're listening to the Mr. Bill podcast.
Hey, you are listening to the Mr. Bill podcast.
Hey, you're 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 listening to the Mr. Bill podcast. Hey, you're listening to the Mr. Bill podcast.
Hey, you're listening to the Mr. Bill podcast.
Hey, you're listening to the Mr. Bill podcast.
Hey, you're listening to the Mr. Bill podcast.
Awesome, man. Well, yeah, thanks for doing this last minute podcast thing. I basically had this week has been insane. Essentially, I had to close on the house, as you know. To anyone listening to this podcast, I bought a house. Thanks if you've ever given me money, thanks. Little golf claps, you've purchased me a house. Actually, you've put me in debt. Fuck you. No, but yeah, anyway, so I did the house thing, which was crazy. But it turns out, yesterday. But the house closing date landed right on a time that I had a scheduled podcast with Mimi Page and some people from Dance Safe and Good Night Out Vancouver. So we had to reschedule that one, and that was the one that was going to come out this Friday. And they couldn't reschedule anytime this week. So thanks for doing that. And yeah, I appreciate you filling in, man. It's fucking awesome always chatting with you anyway. And and it's just cool to, it's interesting because we've done a few podcasts before, right? Like we've done multiple.
There's two things I need to say about this exact topic before we go any further, right? Number one, last time I was on the podcast, I said that Trump was going to get reelected, so I was wrong. That's a correction. Okay. Number two, fuck you, Bill Gates. I'm the new champion. he and I were both tied at 2 appearances, and now I've got 3.
Nice, bro. Get wrecked, Bill Gates. Gardner's a better friend than you'll ever.
Dylan's cool. I'm just fucking around.
Yeah, I love Dylan. But yeah, man, your life has taken a crazy turn. Like you had a kid, which is, I think you had the kid last time when we were doing our last episode. But since COVID and everything, and I mean, shit, I can't even remember was the first time we chatted when you were doing 365, and the second time we chatted, you were kind of like, I think just doing like random sporadic YouTube stuff, and now you're just like a construction worker. Yeah. And when I say like just like a construction worker, like you're not just a construction worker, you're building fucking studios for like Chris Lake and shit.
Oh yeah, I was out there. I was out there working with Matt Davis, like contracting under Matt Davis at Chris's house. But yeah, he designed the room. I didn't design Chris's studio or anything. I don't want that to. Right. I don't want any confusion to be there. That was not my role.
Yeah, how's that been going, man?
It's a little weird actually.
Well, I guess like maybe a good place to start is like, how did you get into? Okay, so you built Chris Lake's studio. Let's start from the beginning. Like, how did that happen? Like, what led up to that?
Well, I didn't build his studio. I just went out there to like fix it.
All right,
like,
gotcha. You fixed his studio.
Yeah, literally there was just a couple of things wrong with like the clouds that they put in his studio, and I just had to get out there and be creative about how to fix it. That's all. Like,
wait, they flew you out there just to fix these clouds?
Yeah. So they flew Matt and I out there just to fix the clouds in his studio.
What?
Yeah. And it was like, it wasn't even like a, like, what was I trying to say here? It wasn't even like a huge, like, okay. So for me, it felt like, you know, kind of like, really, you want to spend that much money fixing this little detail? Yeah. It was like, it was like the fact that the fabric on the clouds didn't like necessarily line up correctly with, the edges of the thing, like literally it was like seaming. Like that was bothering.
That was it.
That was it. That was number one. And number two, the people who were hired to actually do the construction. So the way it works is Matt does the design, and then he hires some people to do the building, which for a while that was me. But at this point it was somebody different that was working with him. Ended up not working out. We didn't really, but neither of us really liked that guy. But they didn't finish the other clouds. So I had to go out there and basically, knowing no one in LA, I had to like source materials, figure out like some redneck solutions for how to like, no, really, like for how to make this work in like less than 3 days. And like, it was pretty nuts. Yeah. And then I also built, or at least I was a major component in building Matt's new mastering studio in Orlando. I don't know if you've seen any of his videos on Instagram.
I have. They look insane. It's like
fucking sick.
Yeah, you're literally just like sitting on like a floating floor thing in the middle of a room where you can't see any speakers, and the entire wall is like a screen. Yeah.
The whole front of the room is a fucking screen. There's 3 projectors.
So crazy, man.
It's insane. That's probably, I'm still saying that is the hardest thing I've ever built. That was hard. And like, I don't know. I've been talking to some of the other guys that are still working on the project. I'm no longer working on the project. But like it was everything was new. Like to me at least, like, you know, the principles of building shit don't change, but like, I had to figure out a way to integrate aluminum, C channel and LEDs.
And what is C channel?
It's imagine a square tube, right? But then just cut one side off of it. So it's a long extruded piece of aluminum that looks like a C on the profile, but gotcha. Like from a long distance away, it just looks like a trough, you know?
Gotcha.
So that's what the LEDs are sitting inside of, this aluminum C channel. And
that just like it lets the light emanate up from out of that channel.
Yeah. And it collects the photons and launches them out the front through a piece of acrylic.
Gotcha.
So yeah, it was it really tested my limits for what I can build. A lot of welding. I did a ton of welding for that project. The sidecars that hold his gear plus the desk in the middle those are all one-offs. I'm never replicating that design. He's the only person that's ever going to have that design. It's pretty cool. So I welded all those together. All the speaker stands that are holding the speakers, which you can't see the speaker stands. We hid them all behind the fabric, so it looks like everything's just floating. Wow. It's fucking crazy. Like the amount of his ambition for that room. It's something else. He was like, I need you to do this. And I'm like, okay. Like, right. And that was usually my reaction was just like, Okay. Yeah. We somehow managed to do it every time though. So.
And a huge portion of this, like all of these things that you were doing, is purely just aesthetic, right?
Sort of. I want to say like maybe, because he doesn't like it when people accuse him of being concerned with aesthetics more than other stuff. But I think to a degree, the aesthetics of a studio kind of promote creative output, right? So like I've got an aesthetic to my room, right? It's all black panels and like, funny shit on the. Oh, hey, by the way, this is you. See?
Oh yeah, nice. The little woven
for the people. Yeah, for the people listening on.
It's
on
hard to see because
only.
It's against the
I'll pull
panel. But, yeah, there's only how many of those exist? I think there's.
Oh shit!
1, 2, 3,
I didn't even mean to wear this shirt either.
Yeah, those little woven Mr. Bills. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. I want to say there's like 7 of them in existence. Ben, our web developer, he just got them made for everyone for Christmas because he's a nice ass guy.
He's a cool dude. I had to put it up there because Marigold kept hiding it around the room.
Right.
Yeah. She'd come in here and play with the cables and hide Bill. And I'm like, all right, where's Bill now?
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think aesthetics of a studio definitely like promote your brain to work in a certain way, and they guide decision making for sure. And if you're in a super clean room, like maybe you'll be more likely to do a super clean mix down versus if you're making music in like a very dusty ass fucked up vibey warehouse, you might make some like dusty ass fucked up vibey music, and yeah, no, 100%. But yeah, man.
Some of the stuff we were doing, with the Atmos system, because it's not only just like a sick ass mastering studio, it's also an Atmos room, like Dolby Atmos. So there's a center channel in the front, 2 mains left and right, and then there's side speakers like firing directly at your head from the left and right. Then there's rear surround, 4 subs, 2 front and 2 rear. And then there's 4 speakers, I want to say, in the ceiling.
And each of these speakers costs like $1 billion, right?
It's PMC. It's really, I mean, it's one of the most ambitious projects I've ever had the pleasure of working on. And I'm happy that I got to work on it for the time that I got to work on it. It was fucking great. I hope I get to see it someday in person, because actually, now that it's finished, I have to make an excuse to go down there and see it.
Yeah, I'd love to go down there with you, man. It's I've seen pictures of it. It looks incredible, and I'm sure it sounds incredible, and I'm sure it's very fun to work in. It
sounds like nothing else. That's actually where I got to see Dune for the first time, and every time I've seen Dune since then, I'm like, this isn't as good. It's all right. This isn't a 4K laser projector in a fucking PMC Atmos studio. What is this bullshit?
Oh yeah. Speaking of these projectors, projectors are pretty noisy. So you pretty much had to build these boxes for Matt to shoot. Hey, I don't even fucking know how this is possible, because the lens of the thing has to be able to shoot out of the box, but then you have to like block all of the noise that the projector makes, because it's basically just a bunch of fucking expensive fans and mirrors and shit.
Yeah. So I'll talk about that for a minute, but I have to like disclaimer say that the projector might be why the projectors might be why Matt and I parted ways. Oh man, because like it's So yeah, there's a couple problems with projectors. Okay, they're beautiful. I mean that is the crispest, best picture I've ever seen in any room, bar none, for sure. It is beautiful. It's dynamic. It's the motion almost looks real, especially when you pair it with a really nice projector screen, which you bet your ass he did. So like once that was all set up and like we watched the thing, I was like, oh my god, this is really great. But here's the problem: they're loud, which you don't want if you're mastering music, right? You don't want any floor noise.
Right.
2, they generate a fuckload of heat, like a lot of heat. So what we did was I had to build what's called a hush box. And the hush box is basically a box that is suspended from the ceiling by chains or cables, or you can install it into the ceiling. It doesn't really matter. But it's got a bunch of turns, right? So when a fan pulls air into the box, it pulls it around a whole bunch of turns, which kind of breaks up the turbulence of the air and makes it quiet. And you fill the turns, like imagine a maze, right?
Yep.
So basically, it's just like a maze going like this, like a bunch of different turns until it gets to where the intake is for the projector, and then on the other side, same thing. So for the exhaust, there's a bunch of turns, and then you have to pipe the exhaust out of the room. So it's got an intake that's at the back of the hush box, and then the exhaust also has to be ejected from the room. So we had a custom like heavy flex duct, because it has to be heavy. Like you need that mass, or else you can hear the air moving. And I got the thing to shut up to within a decibel. So
wow,
it's within a decibel of difference between having the projector on and having the projector off because of the hush box, if that makes sense.
Wow. And so what kind of did you have to do a ton of research and stuff to build that thing, or was there some information already online about how to like how do you even start with a problem like that? If someone goes, hey, I'm building a mastering studio, here's a loud fucking projector, I want that to be the thing that projects images onto my wall so I can make everything look like it's floating and shit, and there's no seam edges on anything, and like I just want to be, I want this crazy thing to happen. Make that thing happen and make that be quiet. Like, how do you even input any words into Google that give you information about that?
Like I said, man, it was one of the hardest things I've ever done. And I now that I've done it once, I'm like, oh, I could do it better. Like, you know what I mean? Like I got that itch to try again, where I'm like, I could do it better. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's where Matt and I are pretty similar. Actually, we both have that. Like, I can get that grin where you're like, I fucking do it again and do it better next time.
Well, I got a project for you.
Yeah, I got a little project for you.
I got a little project for you.
A little project. Fucking what we're talking about? Oh yeah. So how do you start? Well, for me, like luckily I was coming. Matt had already done a lot of the legwork. So like he was like, hey, I know that people do this. So I looked at a bunch of different boxes and designs. He had also already built a hush box that was similar in design for the air conditioning. So in the ceiling, and I don't know how much I can talk about this because I don't know if it's like a trade secret, but like he'd done similar work already. So he showed me, hey, here's what I did to make this quiet. Maybe we could apply that here, right? And so then I started looking at what hush boxes are and stuff like that, and I came to the conclusion that the hush box is normally in the other room. So normally in a projecting room, you have the projector in a different fucking room, and you have what's called tech glass that separate the lens from the screen, right? And like what you're supposed to do is insulate the wall enough such that you can't hear the projector on the other side of the wall. That's what they do in movie theaters. You know what I'm saying? Like if you ever been in a theater and you look up there and there's like a fucking light coming out of a window, like that's what's going on.
Right.
But what we didn't know was that the projector we bought didn't have what's called keystoning. So we had to do a lot of so when you project an image, in order to get the image to be what looks like to our eyes rectangular, right? Mm-hmm. You've got to use a keystoning feature in order to get the sides to do this because of.
Gotcha. It's kind of like it just stretches the image. It's kind of like warping.
Yeah. So
gotcha.
On projectors that are for like consumer market projectors, they've all got keystoning options built into them. Well, the really super nice ones don't, because they are counting on the professional ones, the 4K laser projector. They're assuming a bit about projection and how that works. So we spent a lot of time trying to line that thing up correctly. Like crazy amounts of fucking trigonometry and math, that he had to do to be like, okay, Gardner, it needs to go here. And I was like, okay. And then, I looked up at the ceiling to where I'd be tying it in, and there was like a whole bunch of shit in the way that I'd already built. And I was like, fuck. So then we had to cut some stuff out and it was a lot of trial and error, man. It was stressful. I liked it though. Yeah. But yeah, that's how it's done. You try one thing. There were several models before I arrived on the final model with the piping out of the room and everything. So I went through like 2 or 3 designs before we finally found the one that worked. But the other problem with it is it's fucking ugly.
What is?
The projection box.
Oh, gotcha. And is it visible in the room?
Oh yeah, it's fucking massive too.
Oh, shit. Did you like paint it or like wrap it in fabric or?
I think the final decision, I don't know if it's been implemented, was to wrap it in black vinyl. So it wouldn't be quite as a thing.
Yeah.
But it has to be huge. Like I built it as small as I could. You know what I mean?
Mm.
The projector itself was fucking massive. The projector weighed like 50 pounds too. Like, let's talk about how we got it up in the ceiling. You know, like we had to get a lift
pulley system and shit.
Yeah, no, we had like a winch driven drywall lift that we had to like lift it up and get all the chains balanced and shit. It was crazy.
Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. Yeah, so I mean, Jesus. Yeah, it's crazy.
My dad was calling me. He was like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
You're like, "Sorry, Dad, can't talk right now." Winching up a $1 billion projector into a ceiling.
I was like, if I told you, it wouldn't make sense. Sorry, pops.
Yeah, man. How many people have like built a mastering studio at this level? Like very, very few people on the planet have done that.
I would argue it's the only one that does what it does. I believe that.
Right. Like
the specific things that it's designed to do.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that gives you a very like specific skill set. Like you've had I think like the skills that you have now are like extremely valuable, and something that a lot of producers lament on. I think a lot. Reading shit on forums, being like, how do I treat my studio? What are the best things I can do to my studio to make it sound better and all this kind of stuff. For somebody who's like just at home on a budget, who doesn't really know much about, construction or anything like that. Like, what do you think somebody who's listening to this podcast is probably like, oh man, hey, that's all cool and good and well, but I don't have $1 billion and a fucking drywall winch and what can they do, you think?
Neither do I. So,
right.
Matt, that's just for Matt.
Right.
And I want to say just one more time that he designed that thing and he just kind of handed me the Lego instructions and I put it together. Right. Or not the whole thing, but most of it.
That's still an impressive feat to be given like Lego instructions for a thing of that scale and be like, all right, I know how to use all of these fucking tools and I know what to buy to do. Like I could not do that shit. That's logistics on a level that I am not capable of.
I'll take that compliment. Thank you. All right. So yeah, funny you should mention that. I've been thinking about how I can turn what I know into some sort of a usable guide. Like the everyman's guide to building a room, you know,
mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like where I'm not really going for like top of the line. I'm like, here's what you can do. I'm thinking like, if you can save up like $2,500, you can have a nice ass room. If you exclude like the, obvious, like expensive parts, like a computer and shit like that. Like if you've, shit. I was even thinking about making a series of YouTube videos where I try to see like, what's the cheapest I can build a dope ass room.
Right. And this is like not including speakers, anything, desk, anything.
Yeah, exactly. Like nothing.
This is just like the room.
Right.
Yeah.
Just the room.
Yeah.
Which every time that I've taken the time to treat my room correctly, it's been when I've written some of my coolest shit. Like, I think I went and heard your studio out in Colorado. Yeah. It was at the practice space, the rehearsal space.
Yeah, Doghouse.
Yeah, that was a dope studio. Oh my god.
Yeah, that shit sounded so good, man. It didn't look very good, but fuck, it sounded good.
It sounded great. So after that, I was like, all right, well, I need to do that. So then I started looking at what my options are, and what I came up with was this system right here. So these are prime acoustic panels on my wall. They are basically just Corning 705, I think. Someone's going to correct me. It's either 703 or 705. I can never remember the difference between the two.
Right, but it's like an absorbative material basically wrapped inside some fabric.
Yeah. And it just kind of keeps, the more I try to elaborate on this, the dumber I sound. But like, it basically just like reduces the amount of air that gets transmissed, to the wall, right? So like air movement is how sound procreates. And so like when the pressure wave hits this stuff, it slows down and there's only a certain amount of air that's allowed through it, and then it hits the wall and then it comes back out, right? And then, it gets slowed down again. So hopefully by the time the energy, reaches my ears, it's too small for me to perceive it. That's the idea.
Right.
So what I'm trying to do is figure out how to mass market this system, because it's what I've done is I've taken the prime acoustic panels, and instead of putting them directly on the wall, I've actually stood them off the wall exactly 2 inches.
Right, with a 2x4 or something like that.
Yeah, I mean a 2x4 would be 1.5 inches, but these are specifically made exactly 2 inches, and they're heavy as fuck. I used MDF and plywood, and I laminated it all together to make a 2-inch thing, and it's heavy as shit. I put one panel on my door with some of those spacers, and it turned that door basically into like almost a soundproof door because of just how much mass I added to the door.
Damn.
Yeah, it's all about mass.
Right. Yeah, because I mean, sound is like an energy front, and you need, the only thing that can stop a big thing of energy coming is like a big thing of mass.
A big thing of mass, yeah.
Yep. I'm about to have JD, what's his name? I can't remember. I just call him JD. He's a friend of mine from San Francisco. He's an MIT physicist. And I'm about to have him on the podcast soon, so we'll probably talk about all that shit. He's the guy who taught me what fossil fuels are. I was always like, fossil fuels, fuck them. Like, just like, didn't really know what they were. But fossil fuel is literally just decomposing dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we just fucking put these giant sticks into the ground to where we, like these giant needles that just like find the fucking decomposing, gooey, fermented dinosaur, and then we suck it all up in the syringe and then put it in barrels and send it off and turn it into gasoline and put it in vehicles, right? Burn it, squirt it out the back, and we go forward. It's like, it's the dumbest shit ever. But anyway, so I'm gonna talk to JD about all that shit.
I don't think I'm gonna call it gasoline anymore now, man. It's gonna be just fucking dino juice.
Yeah, dino juice. Well, I mean, I feel like, is it Sinclair? That gas station that has the
it's an actual dinosaur picture. It's too on the nose, man.
Yep, too close to home. Too soon, Sinclair.
Too soon.
Cool, man. Well, yeah, so anyway, I bought a house in Atlanta. I closed on it. I now own a house in Atlanta, which is where you live. Mm-hmm. So I would like for you to build my studio there. And I think the best thing to do is to totally rip out the tracks of the garage doors and then just like lay mass loaded vinyl in there and then build a room on top of that mass loaded vinyl.
Sounds great. Let's go for it.
Yeah. What is involved in something like that? Like, what is the first step for that? I mean, I'm asking both for listeners who want to know shit like this, but also personally, I would like to get moving on this project, and why not do it on a podcast?
Really killing two birds with one stone here.
Yeah, dude.
So all right, step one is going to be like deciding the dimensions of the room, because that determines a lot of like, how the room sounds. Like what are the characteristic pitches that you're going to have to worry about based on the size of the box, right? Right.
It's also worth noting to people that putting a room inside a room is like this whole concept, I think, that people may have not thought about yet. But the idea is essentially that you're creating a room that floats in space that's completely decoupled from the house, right?
So the decoupling is more for noise transmission. Meaning that you're not going to have noise transmitting from the outside of the room into the room, right? So it's the point is to achieve like the lowest fucking noise floor that you possibly can, right? Right. So if I'm out back shooting skeet, you're not gonna be able to hear me, like pull, and you wouldn't hear that shit, right?
Right.
So, dimension of the room is first and foremost important. And then from there, I would call George Sedaris to ask him, what the proper placement for the mix position and speakers and stuff would be. He's a buddy of mine that lives in Atlanta that I've called on several projects to be like, hey, where should I put things? Because he's much better at that math than me. Then once I've got that, it would be the case of building the room. My current my current build out that I've been wanting to try is using 2x6s. So the walls would be a little bit thicker than normal, and it would allow us to smash a bunch of rock wool inside of there, and like some R15 and shit, and then like just basically like do an entire like course around the entire room of fucking Corning 705,
right?
Or spin glass or something.
And the crazy thing is when you do a build like this, when you build just a room that is the studio, you don't have to like quote unquote treat it, right? Like you don't have to hang panels or anything like that because like the entire room is a fucking panel.
Yeah, essentially.
Like all the walls are just going to be made out of like rock wool and shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the concept is pretty simple. The execution is difficult because it requires a lot of non-standard dimensions. So what I mean by that is a 2x4 or a 2x6 or a 2x8 or whatever 2x material it is, are the way they are because of the way houses are built. So when you build a house, and you decide to have a thicker exterior wall, right? You decide to build with 2x6s, which is it's required in some climate zones. Then you need to find a door that fits a 2x6 wall. So around here in climate zone, I think we're in like climate zone 1 or 2. I'm going to look that up real quick just so I can make sure I'm not blowing smoke out of my anus.
Yeah, bro. Make sure you like know what climate zone you're in.
Yeah, I got to make sure I know what climate zone I'm in, bro. All right, so we're in climate zone 3. Mm-hmm. And Florida, where I was building, is climate zone 2.
Right. And you have to have doors rated for certain climate zones?
It's not about the door. It's about the insulation. So the R value of I'd say that building studios has made me learn more about insulation than fucking anything else I've ever done. like it's all about insulation. It's all about how much fucking CFM you can put through, some sort of a substrate.
CFM is what?
Cubic feet per minute. So like the amount of air that passes through a thing.
Gotcha. And is this mostly for dealing with sound transfer or temperature?
Both. So it turns out that they operate on a similar gradient. So the denser the material is, the more it actually will mechanically insulate a structure. So like if it's
so if you build like an incredibly soundproofed room, and then you put a computer in there, that shit'll like heat that room up way more.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So that's a whole other problem we have to do.
So the workaround for that is to buy a server rack and put it outside of the room and have a bunch of long cables that serve all of your devices inside of the room. Literally just move the heat out of the room.
Right. Gotcha.
Yeah.
You're talking to me about using something called a wall pussy for that?
Yeah. No, that's not my term. That's Matt's term. I'm getting super nervous that he's going to listen to this and be like, "God damn it, Gardner, telling everybody all this shit."
I think it's a fuck, man. Matt will come on the podcast and we'll talk about it as well. So.
All right, good. You got to have him on. He's such an interesting mind.
I agree. Yeah, I'll definitely get Matt on at some point. Last time I had him on was with Anthony Bissett, and Anthony Bissett is a speaker designer. So they were talking about acoustics from a whole different perspective. It's like we're talking about like room acoustics right now, but they were talking about like speaker acoustics, and it's like when you think about it, a speaker is just another room. It's just a smaller room from which the sound then comes from, rather than where you're trying to keep the sound in. It's like when you start thinking about sound in these ways, it's like, man, it's all just, everything's just a room that we're trying to control.
Anytime those guys start talking about like specific impulses and like, excursion of the woofer, my eyes just glaze over. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, seriously.
Just tell me which ones are good and I'll buy them, all right?
Yep. Yeah, speaker design is a whole other thing. I had, what's his name? Matt Wolfax. His artist name is Wolfax, but I had one of the speaker designers from PK on here the other day. He was pretty interesting.
They do the big like Function 1 system, right? Or is that different?
PK make like the Trinities and all sorts of stuff.
Okay.
Function 1
shows you how much I know.
Function 1. Yeah. Man, yeah, speaker design's crazy. There's something that they do with the subs on the PK systems is they have like a snailed, because you know how like a low 20 hertz sine wave or whatever needs X amount of meters to fully excrete its excrete, maybe that's the
to exist.
To exist. Yeah. So they basically create this like snailed coil inside the speaker box that slowly winds out, and like it's basically a horn that is like 6 meters long, and then this sub or sine wave or whatever that has to like exist starts to like create its existence in the box before it actually even comes out the front of the box, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's like that's a mathematical constant that like is like a lot of things in nature follow that too. Like, Jamie, bring that up on the screen. I'm like looking it up right now.
I need it for sure.
Yeah, we need a Jamie. Yeah, no, I know what you mean. It's like a Nautilus shell. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like a Fibonacci sequence thing. It's like
yeah. Funny story. Our ears, the internal organ in your ear that actually is the thing that measures frequency, is called the cochlea. And the cochlea is also shaped like that.
Yeah, it is. Yep.
It's a little snail-looking thing.
Man, I should get an audiologist on the podcast because, it's the same deal. It's like such a crazy thing. You have these like pinners, these like weird little curvature things, which is essentially like a little coliseum that like creates reverberations and echoes and shit that like then go into your ear. And then you have like, what is it? The conch, which is essentially like a little amphitheater, really. It's like a little like dipped out bowl thing. Yeah. And when you go in there, you have the drum, which is kind of like a horn. Yeah. And then you go in there and you have the ossicles, which are like the bones, and then
little bones.
Yeah, and they create the transference, I think, of electromagnetic energy, which then get converted into the cables, which create the electric pulses. I probably sound like the biggest fucking idiot right now.
No, you're actually not far off, man. I took acoustics. I took in college, and he spent the majority of his time talking about how the ear works. Like we actually spent way more time talking about how the ear works than he did anything else. And I think like understanding how it works is pretty important if you're trying to make a noise that sounds the way. You know what I mean? Like I actually wish I could go back to college and just take that one class and then be like, all right, cool. Like, you know what I mean? Like
same, honestly. I mean, doesn't George Sedaris, he runs Belegal Beats now and Belegal Sounds. Doesn't he teach acoustics or something like that?
He taught at SAE in Atlanta for a while. I don't think acoustics, but I do know that I've called him in on projects as an acoustician before, and he's functioned like that for me. So for all intents and purposes, I think he is.
Yeah, I believe he is an acoustician. Yeah. I should get him on the podcast and pick his brain. He's at this point, man, he's like a label running machine. Like he just has that brain where he's just very analytical and he just likes to figure out how a system works and just figure out the most efficient way to run that system. So he just like, when I was like, hey man, can you like help with Belegal Beats? Cause I don't have any time. He was like, for sure, I'd love to do that. And he's just like gone so hard with it, man. He's fucking genius, man. I love that guy.
I've got him consulting for my business.
Oh wow.
Like so he's consulting for me on how to make my fucking intake more efficient, because I'm having some problems like with like I'm good at getting work done and I'm good at like actioning work, but I'm fucking shit at planning.
Right.
So he's helping me like figure out how to wrangle all the data that I get from people, hitting me up on Facebook or email or whatever. It's like there's too many streams for me where I'm like, I can't look at it.
Yeah, that's got to be really hard actually, right? Having a bunch of people be like, I want a deck built in exactly this shape happening on this date, and then some other person's like, well, I want a pool, and then some other person's like, I want you to fix this thing, like just take out this half of my roof and replace it with a window, and like all this crazy shit, and you're just having to be like, all right, this guy needs, I have to order windows to here, I have to order this shit to here.
No, it's a fucking wreck, dude. And like my credit card has like such a high ceiling because there's going to be like such a long time between ordering materials and getting paid. So like I'm constantly running like a fucking 5-6 figure debt in my business constantly.
Wow.
That's a little nerve wracking.
Yeah, it's got to be a little bit anxiety inducing.
A little bit. But the thing I really respect about George is he's like an absolutely analytical machine, and he can put it down. I don't know how he puts it down. He'll go, all right, that was fun. And he's just like off.
He's like, all right, let's cook
I'm off
Greek
now.
Food now.
I'm like, that's fucking great.
Yeah.
Greek Easter at his place was fucking lit. Oh my God.
Yeah, I think just like with, a mixing desk, it's like if you understand completely how a mixing desk works, you understand what all the buttons do. It's like you understand one strip on the mixing desk, you understand all the strips on the mixing desk, you know? I think with acoustics, it's kind of similar. It's like if you understand one like component of it, like if you understand how the ear works really well, then you all of a sudden probably also understand mostly how speaker design works to some degree. Or there's a lot of transferable knowledge at least. You know?
Yeah. It's all wiggly air, man.
That is pretty much it. This is, speaking of reducing things down to their most basic things, I came to that conclusion with modular synthesis when I was like super into it. I was like, man, literally all this is voltage, and voltage can only do three things. It can go up, it can go down, or it can stay the same. And that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
And literally all these modules are doing is that in different ways.
Yep.
I was like,
that's all a computer is too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Life is meaningless. We've figured it out.
Let's call it a day, man. Suckers, you guys can stay here.
Alrighty.
Have a nice day.
People listening to this episode are going to be like, "What the hell, man? I was
trying to
have a good day, and now I'm fucking." My head's being caved in by existentialists over here.
Oh yeah, fucking about to Robbie Williams myself.
Oh no.
His the anniversary of that was recently, I think. That's why I was on my mind. I think I was listening to something on NPR about him today where I was like on the way to work or something. Anyway, too soon. Bad joke. My bad.
Patch Adams was the best thing ever.
Dude, he had several movies that were fucking cash money.
Yeah.
Good Morning Vietnam. You ever seen that one?
I believe so. Was he a news host person on that one?
Yeah, he was like running the radio at the Army post or whatever. It was all about censorship. He was trying to like read some stuff and they were like, "You can't read that. We're not letting the soldiers know that." And he was like, "I'll do it anyway."
Yeah. Classic. What else, man? What else is up?
We talk about building houses. I love talking about that.
Yeah, let's talk about building houses.
Yeah.
How's house building going? Because you basically went from we kind of already covered a little bit, but you basically went from being an accountant to
I forgot about that. Oh my God.
Yeah, bro. Like when I first met you, you were like, I used to be an accountant like a year ago, and now I'm doing this like Gardnsound 365 thing where I make a video every day with a tune every day. And I was like, well, that's a crazy project, and it's crazy that you just went from accounting to that. And then you like had this thing where you're like, fuck that, I hate that shit. And then you just started doing YouTubing like sporadically and then whatever. And now it's like you've, I guess, through the entirety of the time of doing all of that, have also owned your own houses the whole time. So I've just been like, DIY fixing your house all the time. And that has helped you slowly over the years build up the skills of like how to build shit and how construction stuff works. And I think you mostly learned that off YouTube tutorials and whatnot. And now you just like own a construction company and now you build houses.
I totally forgot about the fucking accounting job. Oh man. So yeah, man, I've done so much shit that I remember all the shit that I've done. And I guess so. Last time we were on the podcast, I was working at the prop studio.
That's right. Yeah, you worked at a film prop studio building prosthetics for Marvel films.
I've got a fucking sick ass prop in Chris Pratt's terrible movie Tomorrow War.
Wow.
If you can suffer through an hour of it, you get to see my time machine that I built.
Wow.
But yeah, it's not a bad movie. It's just exactly what The Day After Tomorrow was that Tom Cruise did like fucking 7 years ago. It's the same thing. What even was that job and how did that work? I got it because I was posting stuff on Instagram that I was fixing up at my house and like little woodworking projects and like this rack and stuff like that. Like I was posting all these photos of progress of that, and one of the employees was following me on Instagram and he said, "Hey, you want a job?" And I said, "Sure. I'm tired of restaurant stuff." So I was
That's right, you were a chef as well.
Yeah. Yep.
Dude, sorry to cut you off, but like, you know how there's like archetypes of people in the world and you're like, oh yeah, that's like that person I know who reminds me of that person, or that's, you know a few people who are like kind of the same There's like the neckbeard archetype and the weeb archetype. Dude, like
the contrarian. Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever the archetype is that Anthony Bourdain was, I think is also you.
Oh God. So I'm also a drunk and thinking about it. So,
Oh, fuck that. Don't do that.
This is going to be the worst episode ever.
No, dude.
I'm so here for it.
All right.
Fucking, yeah, no, I got you, man. Oh, that's a compliment. Thanks, man. I love Anthony Bourdain. He's an interesting dude.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Anyway, prosthetics.
Yeah, prosthetics. So I was working mostly doing like finishing work. So finishing in the process of making a prop is where the prop itself is at a point where it's usable. So it's functional, meaning that like it looks like it's going to pretty much look. And what you're doing when you're finishing is applying primer and paint and sanding. A lot of sanding. A fuckload of sanding. Which is what I tell people when they're like, wow, your forearm's really big. I'm like, yeah, I do a lot of sanding.
Nice.
Yeah. And so I started off there. And then one day they were like, hey, the welder didn't show up today. You want to weld? And I was like, sure. So they took me over to the welding machine and he was like, here's how it works. Here's the schematic. We need you to build this. And I was like, cool. So they literally just like gave me a welding machine and were like, put this together, man.
Whoa.
After like a 5-minute like fucking primer on how to use a welder.
What kind of welder? Because there's a bunch of different kinds, right?
Yeah, this is definitely the easiest one to use. It's like a hot glue gun for metal. It's called a MIG welder.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So all the MIG welders out there who are like, oh, it's hard, it's harder than that. Shut up. No, it's not. No, it's not.
You just like point the thing at the thing and go like, melt this to this.
Yeah, more or less. I mean, there's like 2 settings you have to worry about, which is like wire speed and voltage.
It's so crazy that there's a tool out there to just be like, melt this piece of metal to this other piece of metal.
It does more than that. It creates hot fusion. So like it creates like a mini sun. That's why you have to wear goggles. It'll burn your fucking retinas out like in seconds.
Whoa.
Yeah. So just I fucked up the first time I was welding, and I wore short sleeves. And I didn't like have any hot metal on my skin or anything, but I got a sunburn.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. If it's creating a little sun, it probably fucking burns you.
Yeah, it throws UVB. So that's the bad UV that gives you cancer. So I irradiated myself for an entire day without knowing what I was doing.
Shit. That's man, you can fuck yourself up in construction.
Oh yeah. I fucked myself up yesterday. Can we talk about that shit? Oh my God.
Yeah, we were supposed to like hang out and get a meal and you stepped on a nail.
Yeah, don't pass out, Bill. I'm not going to give you any gory details here, but all right. So basically what happened was there was a fence that I had to knock down in order to rebuild it, right? It was a tree to hit the fence and it was all fucked. So we decided that we were just going to knock it over, take the posts out and redo it. So we're taking the fence apart, and one of the boards gets pulled out of the fence, and that's no big deal. There's like a couple of rules in construction that pretty much everybody follows, and I broke one of those rules, and that's why this happened. If you have a board with nails in it, you're supposed to either bend the nails with a hammer so that it's safe, right? So they're all bent into the wood, or you put it nail side down, like into the grass or something. It's like all the nails are like spiked into the ground and stuff like that, right? Those are your quick fixes if you're in a hurry and you're demolishing something. What you're really supposed to do is take the fucking nails out with a hammer and pry them out and just put them in a separate bag. Because you can actually sell that if you get a lot of the older nails, you can sell them at a scrapyard and make money.
Right, because they'll just melt that shit back down into copper or whatever.
Iron.
Yeah, iron. Yeah.
Steel, baby. So, so anyway, you can play Minecraft while you do construction. It's great.
Awesome.
Little meaningless things to pass the time. But I put it face up. And I was trying to remove something else. And actually, the majority of times I've injured myself is when I'm trying to exert more force on a thing than I should, because it always gives too fast, and then I fuck myself up somehow. Like if I have a knife and it gives, and I stab myself in the leg, I'm like, fuck. Or if I have a board and I'm like trying to pull something up. One time I had a hammer and I was like trying to pry something out, and I took the hammer and the butt of the hammer was like upside down in my hand, and I pulled it so hard that I finally dislodged the thing, but I had put so much force on it that there was still like some energy behind what I was trying to do, and I fucking popped myself in the eye like with the butt of a hammer.
Jesus
Christ. I gave myself a black eye. Caroline was like, "What happened?" Bro. And I was like, "Oh, you should see the other guy."
Nice. So anyway, you put the fence down and you just forgot that you.
I forgot, and I pulled too hard on a board and I lost my balance, and then I went to catch myself, and instead of catching myself on solid ground, I caught myself on a nail that was sticking up out of a board, and it went all the way through my shoe sole, all the way up into my foot. Didn't come out the other side, so it wasn't a full puncture. It was just like a partial puncture.
Damn, straight through your shoe.
I had to go get a tetanus booster.
Yeah. That's good that you have that now.
So I showed up to work today with a really sore arm from the tetanus booster and also a bum foot, and I had to build a fence.
Damn.
That's what I did today.
All right, because you probably, as soon as you did that, were like, I got to go.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't finish. You didn't finish building the fence with that.
No, it was like fucking blood squirting out of my shoe.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. Yeah, that's rough.
Yep.
Well,
so that's that story.
Hopefully that doesn't happen when you're building my studio.
I will make sure to bend all the nails.
Cool. I'll be there for it. I'll help you build it, actually. I'm down.
Sick. You can be the official nail bender.
Done.
Nail bender Bill. That's your new name.
Yeah. Why not? Just put it on all the festival flyers, just like Mr. Bill, 2 sets in parentheses, nail bender.
Dude, that would be a pretty sick fucking name for
people. Will be like, "What is nail bender, bro? What's he gonna do?"
What's nail bender?
I'm just up there with a hammer, just like between mixes.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Speaking of that, the last time I was doing, I'm finally found a way to integrate YouTube into my shit. So, last time I was destroying a bathroom, I had my shotgun mic and my camera, and I recorded the whole thing. Like,
oh yeah, I remember this.
Cool ass sounds, like breaking a cast iron tub into pieces with a sledgehammer. Like that's.
Oh man, fuck! If you had like the quality of microphone that Richard Devine had, and you were able to just take it around to your like construction jobs and shit.
Yeah.
Yo, we might be able to make this happen because I mean, Richard Devine also lives in Atlanta, and you're in Atlanta. I'm about to be in Atlanta, so I can connect you guys, dude. This is why I'm coming to Atlanta, man. Atlanta's the vibe. I think it's like
between Richie and Ben and you, and like we could make an insane sample pack that would rival like fucking Damage.
Yeah, I mean, Richard probably made Damage. You know, like he. The guy fucking makes everything. Like when I was talking to him, I was like, "Oh man, I've used those Soundmorph sample packs." He's like, "Bro, I made those," and I was like, "Of course you did. They sound exactly like the kind of crazy shit you would do."
Have you ever seen a Jaguar, the car? Yeah.
He's like, "Yes, I invented how it sounded."
Yeah.
Speaking of electric cars, I drove a Tesla for the first time, a couple of days ago. So anyway, I was hanging out with Erez from Infected Mushroom, and he has a Tesla. And dude, that thing is so crazy. Like it has a bunch of, first of all, it's like the weirdest thing to drive ever because it's like a video game. It's like you put your foot on the accelerator. Hold on, I got to shut down Telegram. It's pinging me with notifications right now. So you put your foot down on the gas and you take your foot off the gas and you just stop. It's like a video game. It's fucking crazy. And it's not like you take your foot off the gas and you like roll with gravity or whatever. It's like...
You start slowing down.
No, you don't even start slowing. You literally just like, you slow down very quick. It's like braking hard if you take your foot off the gas.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's kind of weird. You can turn that mode off. So it has like so it feels more like a real car. The other crazy thing is like, you know how you'll be in traffic and you'll have your foot on the brake and you'll just like be taking your foot off the brake so you kind of like creep forward, like roll kind of.
Yep.
Yeah. So the Tesla doesn't do that. Like it has a mode called creep mode where you can like put it in that mode where taking your foot off the brake like allows it to creep a little bit. But its default state is like, if you are not touching anything, no power is being sent to the motors, which are, by the way, I think there's like 4 motors like directly at the wheels.
Yeah.
If no voltage is being sent to them, then it's not going to go. So
they're just done.
Yeah. So it's really weird to get used to driving it. The other thing is like opening and closing all the doors. Like there's just a whole ass fucking iPad like mounted into the dashboard basically. And there's just a button in there that's just like open all doors or close all doors. And you just like press open all and the whole thing just goes and just like opens up. You just like press close all. It just like capsules down. It's so fucking space age, bro. It's crazy. And the ludicrous mode on it is insane. I like drove around LA a little bit And we drove around some like roads that, were more rural and had nobody on them and stuff. And yeah, you like put your foot down, dude, and that thing just like takes off like a rocket. It's crazy. Damn. It's like you get like full on G-force and shit. It's nuts.
That's cool. Yeah, my brother-in-law has one. I've ridden in it once, but it was a good time.
Yeah, and the thing just drives itself. So I was like, hey, I want to try self-driving mode, and he's like, all right, just press this button twice. So I pressed the button twice, and then it's like you can just like let go and just like chill. And just do nothing, and it will just drive you wherever you're going. And not wherever you're going, but it will like keep you inside the lanes. And if there's anyone around you, it'll brake and like move for people and shit. Even it's crazy, but it will say to you, you have to like put some pressure on the wheel because it doesn't want you to like go absent-minded
or fall asleep.
Right. So you have to like basically put a finger on the wheel and like keep like messing with it or whatever to have it be able to keep doing its self-driving thing. But if you like abuse the self-driving mode too much, like if you keep taking your hands off the wheel too much and being like, look at me, I can drive with no hands, then it like it gives you a warning, and then it goes like, all right, fuck you, and like starts flashing red and says like self-driving mode is not available for the rest of this trip. It like punishes you for abusing the self-driving mode too much.
All right, that's it, you sneaky bastard. No more fucking self-driving for you.
It's like, look, man, we're pretty sure it'll get you there, but you should still just, yeah. But anyway, after driving that thing, I was like, man, fuck, I want a Tesla. That's
pretty dope.
They're so cool. I need to write like 3 more Phantasmagorias, and then maybe I can get half a Tesla.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, fuck. What was I talking about, dude? We got off track big time. That's okay though. Tesla, cars. Yeah. No. Okay. Yeah. So earlier we were talking about like when people like call me and they're like, "Hey, you need to build a deck, or you need to build this or build that or whatever." You know what I mean? And I wanted to bring up the point of normally when I'm in that situation, it's really the reason I like this job is because I can point to the code book and say it has to be this way. Like, right, there's not really a lot of arguing about how to build a deck. It's like, if you want this thing to stay up and pass inspection, it has to be built this way. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's always my favorite part of it, is being able to point to the code book and saying like, there are a lot of guys that are a lot smarter than me that have decided it should be this way, and that's the way I'm going to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
What is like one of the codes of deck building that you cannot possibly not do?
So a lot of what deck building code has to do with is loading and span. So if you think about terminology here, so a joist is the part of the deck that is right under the deck board. It looks like a grid, and it spans between beams or girders, and you can either put 2 beams or 3 beams or however many and make it a freestanding deck, meaning that it's not connected to the house at all. It just looks like it is. Or you can make it what's called a ledger and beam deck, which is my favorite type of deck because it's efficient, and I think it's a little bit more safe, and kind of makes the house a bit more, it makes the deck a bit more sturdy because you're tying one side of the deck into the rim joist on the house. Right. So if something ever happens to the house, the deck will also get destroyed. That's the argument. But on the other hand, if it's a freestanding deck, there could be something that goes wrong with the deck that causes a problem with the house. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because it's like too many variables. Yeah. So you can't violate what's called a maximum span. So the joists, depending on how big they are, like whether they're 2x6s or 2x8s or 2x10s or whatever, that determines the maximum span that you can have between beams or between the ledger board and the next beam, right? So like you couldn't basically, which is something they used to do, you couldn't basically have a ledger and then a beam way out in the end and expect like the deck to be structurally sound, because the load that is exerted onto the joist in the middle is going to be too much load. If it exceeds that maximum load, it'll split like a toothpick. So it would probably take a hot tub full of fucking college students jumping around at a rave to break a deck like that. But the point is, like, you want to be able to say, okay, I know scientifically this deck can withstand a certain amount of load. The one I just built for my neighbor can withstand 45,000 pounds of load, which would be, that's a lot. That's several cars. That's like several cars, several hot tubs.
You'd have to like, 45,000 pounds of load. That's like Scott North times a million. Is it Scott North? Is that the guy who shoots massive loads? It's like a porn star.
Oh, Peter North.
Peter
God,
North.
why do I know that? Who's weird, me or you?
I think we're both weird, but I'm forgetful. I'm forgetfully weird.
Yeah, Peter gets up there and he's like, can this deck handle this load? And everybody's like, no, Peter, it's a party. No.
Like, Peter, no.
That's sexual assault, Peter, no.
Dude, fucking...
Peter North canceled for shooting massive rope at a deck.
I wonder, like, if scientists have looked into Peter North's nutsack and been like, why are you shooting such big loads, bro?
Dude, why so much rope, Pete? We got to figure out. We got to figure this out once and for all. We got to know, you know?
This might be the worst podcast I've ever recorded. I like that as like originally I was going to record a podcast with Mimi Page, Dance Safe, and Goodnight Out Vancouver about like women's rights and like all sorts of like activism stuff. And then it's like just hard pivot, Gardnsound, we're talking about loads, like Peter North and fucking construction shit.
Yeah. It's like fucking whipping shitties in a fucking Tesla.
Yeah, couldn't be a possibly more polar opposite podcast, but I like it. I'll have any conversation with anyone, man. That's kind of my thing. I don't like limits with conversation. Like there'll be some shit that people say, right, that like offends me. But it's almost, I feel like I'm getting offended most of the time when people say offensive shit to me for other people. You know, they'll say some shit to me where like, oh man, fuck, like you can't say that. But it's like, I'm not the one getting offended, but I'm like, you can't say that. And I'm kind of getting offended, but I'm getting offended for someone else.
Huh.
If that makes sense.
Can you give me an example? I'm trying to.
Yeah, it's like if you drop an N-bomb, right? Like, that's not going to offend me, but I'm going to be like, oh, like it's going to make me cringe because I know that you can't say it because I'm getting offended for friends of mine who would get offended by that.
Right. I would be offended by it. So like, yeah.
Right. So I mean, yeah, maybe that cringe thing is offense at this point, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's more of a recognition that someone's breaking a social norm.
Yeah, exactly. And you're just like, oh, fuck, don't do that. That's fucking...
Yeah, like, Pete, don't do that.
Exactly. Yeah, Pete, bro, is a perfect example.
Yeah.
But yeah. But other than that, I mean, I love just having every kind of conversation with anyone. Like if people just, I'm down to go on any tangent. You know, the person I've found who's just down to go on like the biggest possible tangents is Duncan Trussell. Because he just like, at any point, he's like reality, just whatever. He's like, anything's possible, you know, I think through talking to people like him and others, I used to be so skeptical about like, you know, hippie shit. You know, like I think astrology is still kind of bullshit, but like I used to be so skeptical about things. But at this point, I just take more of an approach of like, I just don't know, you know, like I just have no idea. Like there's so many times in my life where I've been like, definitely this thing like doesn't exist, or definitely this, and then I'll just be like, you know what, maybe it does, or I'll be proven wrong in some way.
Yeah. Hey, I agree with that. I used to have a thought that there was no objective, boundaries with music, right? That you couldn't have like conversations with objective boundaries, but that's not true either. Like, the entire process of mastering something is all about objective boundary, where it's like, you know, here is the number we're trying to get to, and we're going to get to that number. Yeah, exactly.
Trying to hit targets.
Right.
Yeah, there's that, but also there's pretty objective boundaries, or maybe not necessarily. Well, yeah, I guess objective boundary means boundary that you're trying to hit because you're trying to achieve a certain thing. But there is just like inherent boundaries with music, right? Like we can only hear between a certain frequency range, and we only like certain notes and all that kind of stuff. At some point, like even if you try to break down those boundaries as much as possible and do noise music, you're still adhering to fucking boundaries. It's just, it just sounds like shit.
Yeah. There's still a form to your noise song.
Yeah, exactly. The form was you put the guitar effects pedals on.
It started, it happened, it ended, Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There you go, yeah.
There's a form. Yeah. No,
get wrecked, noise artists who think you're being all anarchistic.
I have some good friends that are noise music artists, and some of them got some interesting shit. But I will say this: I toured with 2 noise acts one time, and I was a chill wave artist at the time, and it was actually a really, really good juxtaposition. Like, so there would be a noise act, and then me doing some like floaty Toro y Moi, like, Tycho, Com Truise shit, and then more noise, right? So people would get like wrecked so they could take the noise music, and then they'd listen to my set and be like, "Oh, I'm grooving," and then they'd get wrecked again afterward. But this one band, I'm trying to remember what the name of the band is, but basically was this drummer, okay, and he had a iPhone, like back when the mic was inline, like in the headphones. You know what I'm saying? The inline mic.
Yeah.
He would basically take that mic and put the entire thing into his mouth like this and go and while playing the drums just incoherently, like thrash metal drums, while doing the microphone thing. And his buddy had like a fucking wall, like a full stack of like fucking like Ampeg bass with a distortion pedal. It was the loudest thing I've ever heard coming out of 2 musicians ever. It was insane. If I didn't have my earplugs, I'd have lost hearing. Like, it was intense.
Dude,
what are they called? Damn it.
I love how noise music people just go like, what's the most like just ADHD like ridiculous thing that I can just do? Like, there's a guy in Sydney called Justice Yeldham, and he plays the glass. He has like these giant sheets of glass. He puts a contact microphone on them, and then that contact microphone goes into a belt of effects pedals, like a utility belt of guitar effects pedals. And then he just like smashes the glass up on his face and just goes like, like does all this kind of shit while he's fucking with effects pedals. And then through the set, he like slowly breaks it all over his head and starts bleeding and shit. And like, it's like kind of performance art at the same time.
Doesn't he like chew on it too?
Yeah, he like bites it. He like, he does. Dude,
I saw a YouTube video that guy had to turn it off. I was so uncomfortable.
I think
was like,
that's
dude, don't
the
eat glass. I was like,
I think that's the reaction he's going for. Is he like wants people to be like kind of scared by it.
Yeah, he took his disease of pica and just really ran with it.
Pica? What is pica?
Pica is a disease that's usually identified at an early age where you just eat things that are inedible, like sand or Play-Doh or rocks or leaves. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. Yeah, maybe he has pica. I don't think he has pica. I think he just like has the I want to fuck with people thing, and I'll
do it.
At the same time, he probably just finds it fun, right?
I don't know, man. I don't think eating glass sounds very fun, but I'll, to each their own.
Yeah, that's a good point. I've never seen a Justice Yeldham set. I had a friend who's seen it. He's from Sydney, so I had a friend in Sydney who went and seen it, and he was like, "Man, the set went for like 5 minutes, and then he just broke his glass." And I was like, "And he just doesn't have backup glass?" And he's like, "No, he's like he just brings the one." I was like, you paid like $20 to go see someone like just blow on some glass for like 5 minutes and then it broke, and then you're like, yeah. He was like, yep. And I was like, was it worth it? And he was like, fuck yeah. This is my buddy Frosty who got me into Ableton actually.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're gonna be living in Atlanta fucking so soon, man.
Soon, yeah. I think my move-in date is like roughly around so it's May 11th now. I think my move-in date is like sort of like mid to late June / definitely July 1st.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got you a sick housewarming gift. I'm not going to tell you what it is.
Oh man, so the realtor, like, you know how they give you a housewarming gift when you buy a house? She gave me this like box, and it like had a bow on it and shit, and I was like, oh thanks, like this is awesome. And then I like the gears started turning in my head. I was like, wait a second, is this a fucking knife? Or like, like a cooking knife, not a hunting knife. Yeah. And she was like, yes, it is. And I was like, I cannot take this because I've got to fly on a plane.
Oh,
so Abby, she's just going to leave it at the house for me. And when I get there, there'll be a knife waiting for me.
She gave us a sick cheese spreader.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Do you use it?
All the time. Like literally all the time. Like it's peanut butter sandwiches. Fuck it. Get the Abby cheese spreader out.
There you
Let's go.
Yeah, man. Big ups, Abby.
Yeah.
She's a good
Getting
realtor.
ice cream out of the carton. You can try the cheese spreader. It's not going to work, but you should try it anyway.
You're like trying to make eggs using it in the skillet and shit. It's like,
I should just do like an episode of a show where I just like fucking only use that for everything, like cooking and everything.
like cheese spreader, bro. This is a multi-tool. This is a Leatherman.
I want a Leatherman so bad. I don't have one. Oh my God. I have so many tools, but why don't I have a Leatherman?
Seems like you should have one of those.
I should have already had one. I should have had one last year. I'm going to order one right now.
How's Sally's stapler going?
Sally's stapler is good. She's going strong. We just recently tackled some Tyvek wrap on a house with Sally the stapler.
Nice. See, I told you you'll get more use out of it. For people listening, this big panel back here, Gardner built this for me, and we needed to like put a bunch of fabric on it. And basically, I was like, we should just buy a sick like electric stapler so we can just go around and just go like dung 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 and like smash it all in real quick. And we did, and it was really fun. And then you were like, all right, that's your stapler. And I was like, dude, I'm never going to use this fucking thing. Like, you should take it. And you've probably used it like 10 times now.
More than that.
Yeah.
I
Exactly.
use Sally's stapler all the time. Yeah. I pull it out like sometimes when Caroline's like, hey, I need to staple some paper. I was like, I got just
You're
the
like,
thing.
gotcha.
She's like, Gardner, that's way too big. That's not going to work at all. I'm like, all right, never mind.
You just like put the stack of paper on the thing. Boom. It's just like stuck to the table. You're like, done.
What were we doing the other day at somebody's house? They were trying to break up like a piece of wood or something. Like it wouldn't split right. Mm-hmm. So I just went out to the truck and got my fucking Sawzall, and I was like, all right, here we go.
Damn. Awesome, man. Well, hey, dude, I haven't been in my studio for days, so I'm going to try and use this time or sometime this evening to try and just like go through some of the stuff I started on the road and fix it, and also try and make a new beat because I got some shows coming up in the next week or two.
Sick.
But yeah, dude, thanks a ton for popping in and doing this podcast last minute. And as always, it's a pleasure having conversations with you, man.
Mm-hmm. Can I make a quick plug?
Absolutely.
I'm returning to YouTube.
Oh, really?
So yes, I'm coming back. I've got a couple of videos in the works right now, and I'm officially going to come back and do it again. But not like the whole everyday thing like that. Like, you know, when I feel like making a video, but it'll be more regular.
Cool. Yeah, because right now at this point you've done it like never for a while, right?
I've made like 10 videos since Marigold was born. So like in the past 3 years, I've made about 10 videos.
Right. So at what kind of frequency are you anticipating? I'm
thinking over the next 3 years, I'll make 11 videos.
Gotcha. Okay. So yeah, that's up 1%, is it? No.
Like 10%.
10%. Up 10%, my bad.
No, I want to do some regular videos. I've finally figured out a way to incorporate music into my job. And my worker that comes with me on most days, he's a good cameraman, so we're collaborating on some stuff.
Oh yeah, so you'd be like making videos at the construction sites and stuff?
Yeah. I basically want to do what Andrew Huang does, except like, you know, with better like, you know, sounds. Like instead of like, you know, little micro sounds that he does, like macro sounds, like massive ones, like throwing a fucking mirror out of a second story window, you know?
Yeah, like, dude. Like who else gets to do that shit? Like very few people get to. Yeah.
I figured it out one day where I was like, fuck, I'm about to murder a tub with a sledgehammer. We've got to get that on film. Like, yeah, we've got to record that shit.
Damn, yeah, you should invest in like one of those insane, like, what are they? The
ambisonic mics?
Those too, but like, what are those fucking preamps that everyone has? The sound devices ones? Is it sound device? They're so sick. Whatever they are, anyway, you should get one of those and like, you know, go get like, if you're gonna do recordings like that, man, you could get it at the highest quality, you know?
Yeah.
192 kilohertz, you know. So
I mean, I could probably argue that it's a business expense and just fucking go out and,
dude.
Yeah, throw some money on one.
Yeah, 192 kilohertz mic. Those things are so sick because like when you import those samples into Ableton, even though I think it like downsamples to 44.1, actually this may not be the case, but like I'm pretty sure I have a theory, and it's probably not even a theory. Someone smarter than me probably just knows this. But if you record stuff at higher sample rates like that, you should be able to stretch them more, like with complex mode and stuff, right? And they should sound better because there's like more parts there to be pulled apart.
Yeah, actually the plugin Paul Stretch, like the higher quality the recording is, the longer you can stretch it. I did that on my last ambient album with recording into the RME with the rack at like an insane high sample rate, and then stretch the shit out of it. It sounded cool.
Paul Stretch is so sick. Why is it not a plugin?
It is a plugin.
It is? I thought it was just like a...
No,
oh yeah, no, you're right. It is a plugin. My bad. What is my problem with it? My problem with it is like it doesn't start with the transport or something, or maybe there's a setting that does. I don't know. It's probably a user error.
I always end up bouncing it. In Bitwig, you just bounce in place. You know, like that's always what I do. I just bounce it and then turn the channel off.
Right. What I mean is, why isn't it a good plugin? No, I'm just joking. I love Fall Stretch. I use it all the time. Cool, dude. Right. Well, yeah, thanks a bunch for this, man. Appreciate it.
Literally anytime. Cheers.
Hell yeah. Yo, what's up? Thanks for listening to the Mr. Bill podcast. This show is produced and edited by Robert Fumo. You can get early access to the show by going to my website, MrBillsTunes.com, and paying me instead of Patreon. And remember to go rate and review on iTunes, or I'm going to come to your house and punch your dog in the throat, upper deck your toilet, and fuck your partner. Note, I may or may not do those last couple of things. You should probably just go rate it on iTunes or Spotify or whatever it is that you listen to the podcast on, because it really helps the podcast. But just know that it'll go a long fucking way to me not doing those things if you do go do that. So just putting that out there.